Now that you've folded all the edges on the practice piece, let's glue it together so it starts to look like a whale. Grab your glue, and instead of cutting off the tip of this, you're going to actually want to grab a push pin and just make a really small hole on the tip. The reason why you want a really small hole is it allows you to control the amount of glue that you're putting on, which has a huge impact on how good your final product looks. The first thing we want to do is we're going to find a tab and an edge that match up. So on the practice piece here, I have 2 and 2 that I'm going to glue together. With the glue, you only need a little. A little goes a really long way. We're going to glue right in the middle of the tab, and we're just going to put a very little amount all the way across. And then we're going to take that edge and we're going to line it up with that fold that we created on the tab. You see the edge of the fold here and the edge of the tab line up together. I'm applying pressure onto that tab where the glue is, and this glue is a quick dry, so it sets really fast. So this I'm already able to move on. But instead of moving on, I am going to grab the tongue depressor and I'm going to push and use my fingers on the inside, and we're going to get really even pressure along the whole edge that we just glued together. And that's how I get those really nice crisp edges on the whale that you can see here and on the larger sculpture. Here's a close-up of gluing tab 1 to side 1. Again, you're going to glue right in the middle of the tab, just using just a very little bit. We're going to want that tab to glue on the inside, so we want it so that that tab is going to be hidden from view. We're putting a little bit of pressure, just long enough till it gets tacky, grabbing our tongue depressor and evening out the glue. Let's try another one. So 5 and 5 back here. So 5 edge, tab 5. You noticed when I glued the other one, that tab is going to glue on the inside. We don't ever want the tab to show up on the outside here that doesn't have any marks on it. We always want that tab to glue on the side that has the marks. And that way, on our finished sculpture, we don't see any of those tabs. So let's glue 5. Again, just a little bit of glue right in the middle. If you happen to get too much, or you get glue in a place you don't want to, you can actually just use your finger to clean that up. Since it is a silicone-based glue, it's not going to come off with water, but if you just rub your fingers together, it is going to peel off really easily. And then since you don't want to get gunk on the sculpture, I just use my pants or my shirt, just quickly brush my hand off, and you can not get anything onto the sculpture. So again with this, I line up those edges, I apply pressure at one point, and it just does not take long at all before that glue sets enough that I can grab the tongue depressor and do the same thing. I'm just putting my fingers on the back side here and applying pressure evenly all along there. I usually try to hold for about a count of 5, and then we're ready to move on to the next one. You'll continue gluing all of the edges together for the sculpture, and you'll end up with a little whale that looks just like this. Take this time when you're gluing everything together to really practice. Practice getting the glue right there in the center. Practice maybe doing too much glue and seeing what happens, how the glue squirts out. Using too little as possible as well. So get a feel when you're gluing these together for just the right amount of glue, so you're a pro when you start on the bigger sculpture.